Just get the stream running on my phone. Okay, that looks good to go. It's a bit late. Oh, do you like the background? It's the background of the Transpennine. I finally actually managed to get it. We're going to use the favourite friend, the 36PH-3C, and we're going to go for... let's go for an early morning service. Is it that one? That's a baby bullet. Yes, a southbound baby bullet service from San Francisco to San Jose. Let's rock and roll. Yeah, I was thinking, should I do a stream on it? So I thought, meh, why not? Let's do it. Because funny enough, when I was doing the MP36PH-3C, one of the last time I covered it, I thought I was doing baby bullet services, but it actually turned out to be like limited stop service or an all stop service. This is an actual proper baby bullet service with the baby bullet. So yeah, be interesting to see how it goes. So let's unlock the doors. Wow, it feels weird being back in Peninsula Corridor, especially back in this. The only routes I've been playing recently is what was I been playing? I've been playing Northern Transpennine. There we go. What do we need? Oh, we need that, of course, the reverser. There we go. Wait until 6:35. Not a problem. Oh, we gotta go up here, haven't we? I was wondering what I was doing. We're gonna turn on the control and fuel pump, the generator field, the engine run, the front marker lights, no. The gauge lights, I think we're all good to go. Anything back here needs doing? Oh, what's that? Electro pneumatic brake, nope. Step lights, yeah. Oh, what was that? Oh, ground lights. Oh yeah, I've got to go in that fuse cabinet. Hang on, where is it? Fuse. Thank you. Turn on the radio, absolutely. And we'll turn on the alerter control. That's better. Oh, there's a service coming in. Oh, that's nice to sell. There we go, that's how you turn the bell off. Alright, let's rock and roll. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Would be 6 if we were still there, but we're not. We're off somewhere. We're off to see the wizard. Now, oh yeah, look, here's the wagons for where the MP15DC comes and picks them up. That's where the wagons are. They're sitting there now. Oh. I haven't finished all the DC services, shunter services. So, I look forward. Look at that beautiful picture of San Francisco. I'm sure it's pretty quiet in San Francisco at the moment. I think it's just gone, what, 20 past 4 in the afternoon in America, San Francisco. A lovely day here. Let's get back in the cab. There's the wagons. Now, I think Dovetail did introduce a fix for the shunter as well as the 36, something to do with their timetable, something like that. Not not going very, not corresponding very well, and there was like confusion or something, like some of the services were mixed up. I'm not entirely sure, but something like that. But what is our first stop? Our first stop is 22nd Street. Oh. Wow. For baby bullet service. Thought we wouldn't be stopping at many stations. Maybe we are. I have no idea. I have no idea. Oh dear. I don't think I've ever done a baby bullet. I can't remember. No, I don't think I've ever done a baby bullet service. Unless I did it with the 2-cat, I can't remember. Either way, it's been a long time. So there's a play Peninsula corridor, so... Now we can get up to speed. I want to go to my favourite crossing. There. Sit here. Sit on the buffers. There we go. Now we just wait for it to go by. Here it is. There he goes. Right. Okay, through the tunnel we go. Oh, there's another service. There it goes. No. My thing popped up. I'll have a look at my phone. Ah, monitoring. Hello. How are you? Welcome to the stream. We're just doing a baby bullet service. A proper baby bullet service. With the, well, MP36PH-3C. We're approaching our first stop of the day. 22nd Street. We got a brake. Brake. It's got pretty good brakes, but clearly I underestimated it. Has not got good brakes. There's a heavy train, I suppose. Oh well, I haven't played it in a while. That's my excuse. Did all the cars get on the platform? Yeah, they did. Oh, okay. Out in the back there. That's alright. That's alright. I can live with that. No one getting in and no one getting out. Never mind. Right, 6:41 and 30 we've got to wait till. Well, let's lock the doors in. The doors are about to close. Right, let's rock and roll. What's our next stop? Millbury, 6:55 in 11 miles time. Now we can really open the taps. Let's go. What's happened? Well, I didn't stall the engine, did I? Did I stall the engine? Oh, something's wrong. Oh dear. wrong? Making a noise now. Why isn't it moving? What the hell? What? What? I'm very confused. I've never stalled it before, so I don't know. I'll let it do its thing. Where is that button? The alerter might have done it, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. If I turn it off, maybe. Maybe not alert. I just gotta let everything reset. Let everything do its magic. Well, we wanted a challenge, we're gonna get it. What? What's happened here? What? 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 Well, did I do something in here maybe? Why isn't it moving then? This is very peculiar. Fuse panel. Something turned off it shouldn't be? It looks alright to me. Alerter controls off. I'll turn the radio off maybe. Right, off. Automatics off. Don't want to move, does it? Why isn't it moving? This is not right. What? Reverses in. Neutral, maybe. No, let's just put up to 100%. Right. Forward. Automatic brakes to release. Right, so the brakes are released, the brakes are fine, it's the actual engine. Don't want to... ain't having it, is it? Oh, okay. Well, while you roll backwards then, I'm going to have a isolation switch. So a switch up here, that should be on. Gauge lights, front marker lights, the engine's on. If I... let me turn that off. What if I... turn them off and then turn them on again? Engine run. Gauge brightness, yeah, sidewall heater, yeah. No, okay, so there's nothing wrong there then. It's just not moving, is it? What the fudge is wrong with it? What? I don't understand. I'll turn it on maybe. Why ain't it moving? What? This is very confusing. Oh, I don't know. Don't want to do it either way. I'll restart it. Can't be bothered. Let's try again. If anyone knew what was wrong with the, if I was doing something wrong there that I shouldn't have, then it would be lovely to let me know. But that was very strange. Never experienced that before. We'll just have to try again. Right. Control pump, generator field, engine run. Alright. Right, reverse it in, forward. Step lights. Oh, ground lights. What was that? Pneumatic electro brake. I have no idea. I'm gonna leave it. Gauge lights. Yeah, what happened to them? Soundtrack, ditch lights. That's on. Gauge lights. That's an emergency. I don't know if that's the emergency stop. Might have done something there. I didn't think about that actually. Oh my lord. Where is it? Gauge lights? No, no gauge lights. There must be some gauge lights somewhere. TMC test. Gauge brightness. Well, where's the gauges then? Oh, probably down here, aren't they? Yes, they are. Right. Hopefully, second time. Success. Hopefully. I'm going to wait until those brakes come off. Now I can go. There we go. Now it's moving. Okay. We're up and running. First stop is 22nd Street, due in at 6:41 AM, 1.3 miles time. What else? There's the wagons again. That's where the diesel shunter, what's it called, the MP36, that's where they pick up the wagons, right there, just outside the station. This is a proper baby bullet service, like a proper one. So, hopefully, this will not end in failure. Because the previous services I was doing, with the 36PH-3C, I thought I was doing baby bullet services, but I actually wasn't. I was doing like limited stop services. So technically I haven't done the baby bullet service yet, but so now's the time. I must say, for once Train Sim World is replicating real world life at the moment. The entire city of San Francisco is dead in terms of activity. Not much going on. Nobody working and nobody out and about. Everyone's at home, just like the UK. Put the power up a bit. got a speed limit of 40 coming up, so we can open the taps a little bit. So that means we can get there a bit quicker. Come on. Let's go. My iPad just went off. An email, I think. What's today? Sunday. Sunday? Well, today is what it should be. Today is Monday. In the UK, it's Monday now. A very early Monday morning. Right, rock and roll, let's go. Hello, we've got some things going on. Ah, Rodrexter Real Productions. Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. How are you? I just thought I'd finally attempt to stream very late at night here in the UK. I thought I'd finally do a baby bullet service with the MP36PH-3C. It's been on my mind recently. So I thought, might as well get it done. Needs to be done. Must be done. I'm approaching 22nd Street. We're ahead of schedule. Where's another service? In the tunnel. That's a cab car. No. Pretty good. Excellent. Right. Maybe I shouldn't do that with the throttle. If you don't know Rodrexter Real Productions, this is my second attempt at it. It all started off really well, got to 22nd Street, and then for some reason the throttle just wouldn't work. I don't know if I stalled the engine or what, but it just wouldn't work. I honestly have no idea why. I tried everything. I tried to reset the whole engine, I even turned the buttons up there off, and it just wouldn't have it. Very strange, I must admit. But there we go. Hopefully we won't repeat that this time. Right, let's unlock the doors. Nobody here, nobody coming in, and nobody going out. That doesn't surprise me. Yeah, I'm also hoping to complete the shunter services. I still have unfinished business with them. Might see him around on my journey. Wait until 6:41 AM. Oh, not straight away. Might as well get back in the cab. I'll just wait for that to happen. Yeah, but how's things in the lovely world of California, Mr. Rodrexter Real Productions? How's life there? I imagine it's very quiet. Everyone in lockdown. Right. There we go. Right, go on. Please move. Come on. Yes. Okay, we install the engine. Excellent. Rock and roll. Alright, our next stop is Millbury at 6:55 AM, 11 miles time. So we should absolutely fly there, really. Top speed of 79. Well, the limit is 79. I cannot wait for that German shunter. I just keep thinking about it. I keep checking the Steam, these more information like the date, but there's been no date on the German shunter, which is a puzzle. A bit puzzling, really. It's either going to be released, well, it's got to be next week now, surely, next Thursday. Just a week after Easter. So, ooh, what's going on down there? There's some wagons down there. What is that? That's not to do with the. It's not the 38-2, is it? It might be. Oh. Might be the little shunter, maybe. There's no 38-2 there at all. Oh. Maybe that is for the shunter. That's a long train if it is. Oh, it's probably for those services later on where you have to do what is it? You need two of them, don't you? You need both of the 15 DCs to pull them along to some industries along the line. I have no idea where exactly, but something like that. The only way I'll find out is by doing them later down the line. Yeah, but a lot of unfinished business with Train Sim World. Still a lot of things to do. Still got Harpstrecker Rhine Road to cover, which I've actually managed to get a few of those done. Just got to put them out basically to the World Wide Web, and then I've got to do, well, the Caltrain shunter stuff. I still want to get that done, and then I've got to try and revisit Main Specific Barn. All in a very tight schedule, but that's alright. That's okay. Derpy Kitten. Hey, how are you? I'm good, how are you? Welcome aboard the stream of the MP36. It's doing an actual, maybe bullet service, and I've gone a bit over the limit. Oopsie daisy. That shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't be a problem. Oh my good god, the wipers have come on. Why have they... Stop, wipers. Stop. Oh, pressing the wrong bloody button. Thank you. Normal service resumed. Thank you. Oh yes, the baby bullet is roaring. Oh, there's a 38-2 parked up. Pretty good. What do I think of the new German shunter that's coming? Well, the Derpy Kitten, if that's how you say your name. Yeah, I cannot wait for it. I cannot wait for it. I have been asking for it for so long. It feels like forever. Since I first suggested it. When Main Specific Barn first came out, I think it was, what, this time last year, I think. I was like, we need the shunter in, because, you know, the dockyard's effectively been abandoned. We're finally getting it. It's taken time, but we're getting it. They still haven't released a date for it yet, so it's a bit puzzling, but we're going to get it, so that's the positive. You know, we're going to be doing freight services, a lot of shunting services at the dockyard, also at that industrial part of the route where I think it was at Loerbahnhof, or the industrial spur. I've never actually been down there. I didn't even know that the shunter could be used down there, but now we can, so that's good. Whether it can be used on Rusig Nord, like at the power station or the steelworks areas of the line, that remains a question. I doubt we will get it from the get-go when the shunter eventually drops, but maybe not too far, maybe a month or two, hopefully. But you know, hopefully could be integrated into Signal, but you know, then again, this is Dovetail we're talking about. They like to take their time, and of course now that they're working from home, it doesn't exactly make things any better, does it? Let's be honest. Haven't we? Oh yeah. My PSN username. It's the title of my channel, basically. Spurs rating 96. Pretty simple. I like to keep everything all streamlined, so it's not too complicated for everyone. I don't game that much on PS4. I mainly do Train Sim World. I do a bit of Gran Turismo. I've been doing their online stuff recently, started getting into that. Their Manufacturers Championship representing Lexus. I did very well today. I won a race. I won the Monza in Italy GP. I was pretty pleased with that. I started second and cruised to first. It was fantastic. Very minimal fuss. And the previous race before that, I think it was I think it was last Wednesday, or was it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. I did the race in Japan. What race was that? That was the Autopolis racetrack. I started 7th, had a terrible start, wheel spin, too much. I had too much wheel spin, and then I made a great recovery all the way up to 3rd. I really enjoyed it, actually. I'm not an expert on Gran Turismo Sport, but it's quite fun, you know. It's very satisfying when you have a bad start, when you recover all from the chaos and carnage. I'm like a wise old head, really, you know, when it comes to racing. I just take my time and don't get involved in the battles, because usually the battles ahead are going to end in flames and disaster. And there we go. Oh, hello. That's one of the industries there, dropping off the wagons and unloading them, and reloading them. And we've got a brake. We've got a brake. I mean, it's just great for me, because going back to Train Sim World, it's just great that we've got 2 shunters to play with. You know, I still haven't finished the stuff with the Caltrain shunter. Haven't done any of the scenarios on not just the Caltrain, but this route. I've hardly been on it at all. You know, and the fact that getting the German shunter as well, it just makes me so happy. You know, especially in these difficult times, if we can call it that. Difficult times, a bit of an understatement. Yep, no worries. If I see the request, I'll oh god, I'll keep an eye on the train as well as in the chat. How do I get all the news? From the social media channels, really. Like Twitter, or I get it mainly from Twitter. They're pretty good with their Twitter. And once I know what the locomotive is, or I go on the Steam page. The Steam page gives you a bit more detail about, you know, what the locomotive is, and so on and so forth. And then of course you've got to try and put the news, you know, get all the relevant news and put it together, and do it a few times to make sure it sounds correct and sounds you know, I don't know what the word is, but it's got to sound right, you know. Like when you're speaking, of course, you know, because I'm an actor, I do acting, so my voice, obviously, you know, I know all the things about expression and all this stuff, you know, pitch and tone and all this and that. So, kind of have an idea about how to deliver the news. Maybe I should be a news presenter. Anyway, I've been babbling too much. I'll have a look at the chats when we get to Millbury. We're not far anyway. We're just getting a bit behind time. Been cruising around at in the 50s when I should be at 75 in the 70s. This is a baby bullet service. We go fast and furious, not slow and steady. Oh, Danny Holland, what a surprise. Good morning. Yes, it's a very, very good, a very early morning. It's the Easter week. Hope everyone's got their Easter eggs. Right, we're approaching Melbury right now. Let's reduce the speed and start to decelerate. We've got a 1% downhill gradient. That's not going to help our cause, is it? Come on, you can get down the speed. Come on. Brake. Oh, I don't want to do full brakes. Oh, I've got no bleeding choice, have I? Please, any time. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm not putting an emergency brake because, oh, I've got to have, haven't I? Just brake your sodding thing. I'm not used to this locomotive still. Oh, God, that was a miserable failure. Oh well. There you go. Yeah, you can come on board. Just get in that door there. No, no one wants to get off. No one's really interested of service now. I've got to be careful. Is it emergency stop? Oh, sugar. I've done the worst thing ever. I've turned it off. Oh, bugger. Shah. I'm an idiot. How do you turn it on then? How do you turn it on? How do you turn it on? Engine start. In the tutorial they don't say how to actually start it up. Oh no. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, I'm such a douchebag. Oh no. I thought I was emergency brake. Obviously it's not. How do you turn it on? How do you start it up? How do you start it up? How do you start it up? I have no idea. Engine run. Do I press all these again? Oh, I need help. Does anyone know how to start one of these up? I don't think they covered this in the tutorial, so I've no idea. Help. How do you start it up? How do you start it up? Help. Please. Help. No worries, Derpy Kitten. Where's Danny? Danny, if you're still there, how do you start one of these up? How do you start them up? I don't have a clue. Oh, for Jesus Christ. Such an idiot. How do you start it up? Seed truck. This? What's that? Emergency brake valve. No, what's that? Reading light. I don't want a reading light. Oh, how do you start it up? I've no idea how it starts up. Side wall heater, TMI test? No? I have no idea. Let's go into here. I don't know how to start it up. What's that? Oh, main battery. No. We're gonna be way behind time. I should have turned that on anyway. Alert control. Never mind. Headlight control, isolation switch. I have no idea what. Start, stop, isolate. Does that do it? No, it's not making any positive noises. Step lights, ground lights. Nope. Oh, Jesus Christ. How do you do it? Ah! Oh, I'm not doing it again. Come on. What? Cut off. Start. Oh, it's not doing it. Oh. Do I hold it in first? Nope. Oh, I don't know. I think I've broken it. I actually don't know. Is this just stuff any dude? Is this... I could do with a plane right now. Nope, nothing here. Oh my god. Do I press it again, maybe? Cut out, cut in. no. If I just do everything again, hang on. What? Now I can't take the reverser out. What the hell's going? That's why. Neutral. Handle off. Handle off. Hello. Here we go. Set the isolation switch to start stop, then press the green button. Ooh. It's not good, is it? How does it... Why isn't... No. Nope. I don't know. Emergency stop. Must be something here. Or do I press all these buttons again, maybe? Oh, fuel pump, engine run. Maybe put that on. End up. Head isolation. Head end power. I have no idea. Let's try again. Yes, it works. She's up and running. Listen to that. The sound of an engine. Oh my god. Thought I'd be stranded here. Right. Ooh. Let's get going. We've got some time to make up. Oh, we got to get the brakes warmed up. Come on. Time is against us. It's alright, Danny, we've got it up and running. Don't do it again. No, I'll try not to. You have to warn me now. Every time we do a stream on this, you have to be like, make sure not to press the emergency switch. Right. Oh, no. Gotta be careful with the throttle. Oh no, the throttle's not want to work. Oh my god. Maybe if I do that. Might just be patient, let it do its thing. Oh yeah, of course. Now I can put it back to run. There we go. Right, reduce that. That should. Yay! We're up and running. Rock and roll. Let's go. We've got time to make up. Well, there you go. You want to know how to get an MP36 moving after an emergency stop? There's your ticket. There you go. Now we got some time to make up. This is more challenging. This is more of a challenge. German shunter hub. Yes, Danny, yes. I cannot wait for it. They still haven't announced a date for it though. I looked on the Steam website and I looked on the tab that said upcoming releases, excuse me, and the diesel shunter's not there. I went on their announcement page on the Steam about the diesel shunter and there's still no date announced for it, so it's clearly not ready yet to be announced in terms of when it's going to be released. So hey, that's fine. I mean, you never know, they might be working on the timetable of it now. Maybe they're trying to last minute get it, you know, get it to work on other routes. I mean, if I was Rivet Games, I would try and squeeze in and make some services on Rus Ignored. I think that would be most appropriate for it. I think if you put it on Rus Ignored and Mainsprecibahn, that would be really nice. Because obviously, I imagine like some certain fans of the German routes, they probably want the German channel to be on all the German routes. But I think just to start off, if they could maybe, just maybe, get it working on Rossignol, you know, working at the power station or the coal station or whatever it is. I think it's known as Evlington Power Station, and of course the steel and industries along that particular part of the route. If they can get it working on that, I think that will be that'll be really good. Because I could go back and explore Rossignol, and also the little journey feature of it will be really good. I've been doing the journey mode a lot recently. I've done Rossignol, I've done West Somerset, I've done most of Long Island, but I've taken a break from that. I'm now just doing Northern Transpennine. I'm now trying to get that scenery of the hot air balloons now. I think all I've got to do is just I don't know, get 10 levels or something on Northern Transpennine to unlock the balloons. So, but I'm loving it. I'm loving Transpennine. I have been on it for so long, like proper, you know, delving into the content, and I'm just really enjoying it. I mean, I don't like the 47. You know, I think it's a disaster to use on Transpennine, to be honest. It's so slow. It really struggles. I thought it was the braking or something, like if it was in air brake or vacuum brakes with the coaches, but it wasn't. It was just so damn slow up the hill. It was terrible. So every time I did a journey mode service going from Leeds to Manchester, I just kept thinking like, oh, I hope to God I'm not having the 47, and before you know it, it's the 47. So I much prefer the 45 and the 47. I think the 45 and the 40, they're very close to being, I think, on my favourite locomotives on Transpennine, the 45 is ranks particularly high up on the list of locos across the game, like the ones I like the most. I think the 45 has to be, I think, one of my favourite locos in the game, but how high up, I wouldn't be top 5 definitely. I love the 45. It's just such a monster to drive, and it's just such a challenge as well, especially with the braking system. Yeah, that's a little bit of history on Transpennine. I'm not going to be bothering using the horn on this. Crossings endlessly. Sure they know I'm coming. There we go. That should do it. Right, let's get up to speed, because we've Redwood City, we're nearly due in less than 5 minutes. Oh my lord, that's ambitious after my disaster. Yeah, 2 weeks. It's gonna, well, you think about it, because now we're in this week, because it's Monday today, right now. Next week basically, yeah, next Thursday. It wouldn't surprise me. Severely underpowered. Definitely would have been like that in real life. Yeah, it's very underpowered. It's like it just feels like it's not natural for it to be on that route. I mean, it is in real life, obviously, because it was there in real, you know, in the 80s. It just feels like it's not worthy of, you know what I mean? It feels like it's not worthy of being on there because it's so slow, you know. I mean, if you were to do a service of it and stay reasonably close to the timetable, that's an achievement. So, I mean, Lord knows what it's like using the 47 with those, with the tank wagons. I mean, my God, that must absolutely suffer. Absolute suffer. I think they should just take out the 47 altogether and replace it with something else. Maybe they should just put the 31 in instead. Have two 31s. Or maybe have a 47, have the 47 surfaces, and just stick a 31 in front of it. Attach it to the front of it, and then it will help it get along even rather nicely. That'd be quite cool, wouldn't it? Having the 31 and the 47 working together. That'd be really cool. I mean, why the 31 isn't on Transpennine, I do not know. But there you go. I'm sure it'll be there eventually. It'll get there eventually. Once they focus on an old historic route or an add-on, then I'm sure it will come back. Right, we need to get up to speed again. Dropped a bit of speed on that slight incline. TransPennines your favourite? Yeah, I mean it's certainly one of the best. I think once if they address Great West, well, they won't address Great Western Express, because that's never going to happen. I can't see it personally. It's been for nearly 3 years. March 2017, I think it came out for PC, and nothing's happened to it since. I think when we get a local add-on for East Coastway, that will be good. Whether it be a freight locomotive or another passenger locomotive like 313 maybe, or the I keep forgetting what it is, the 171 or the 181, whatever it's called, for the, I think if we have that little 171 or whatever it's called, 181 on Seaford branch line, that'd be quite nice to see. But this is Southern we're talking about, so anything can happen. It's ironic, isn't it? Real life Southern, they're just pathetic with time, and that's probably what it's like now. Is they're probably going to take an age for themselves and Dovetail to make an agreement on which loco they should bring to East Coastway. And now, actually thinking of DLCs after this German shunter gets released, the end of the month, we should see some British content. And that's a whole completely different kettle of fish. I mean, what we're going to get there? We're going to get a loco add-on. Is it going to be historic? Is it going to be modern? Are we going to get a new route? Is it going to be modern or historic? You just don't know. You just don't know. Route-wise, God knows. Oh my dear. It wouldn't surprise me if they go back. Nah, it wouldn't. Nah, actually thinking about it now, they wouldn't go back to the historic setting. Maybe it would be nice. Yeah, the British stuff is going to be interesting. I mean, for a local add-on, it's not going to be too hard. It's going to be either one for East Coastway or one for Great Western Express, or maybe another add-on to TransPennine or Tees Valley. You just never know, do you? That's the beauty of it. You just do not know, because you know what needs to be in the game, like loco add-on wise, but you don't know if it's going to be a loco you fought, or it's going to be in the route that you perhaps didn't think was going to be added to the game, you know. So it's like this San Francisco. I didn't expect we're going to get 2 DLCs in less than space of a month, you know, with the shunter and this MP36PH-3C. I thought when we got the Baby Bullet, I thought, oh, okay, that's it. That's thingy bob done with. We got a break now. Thought I'd just brake in advance, because the brakes, they take a while to apply on the 36PH-3C. They do take a while. And I think I've done quite well. Less than a minute late. Well, over a minute late, I should say. Less than 2 minutes late. That's what I should have said. Overall, pretty good, pretty good. I'll have a look at chat when we stop at Redwood City. Time to brake. That'll do. It's on the platform. I consider that to be an achievement. And there we go. Initial reduction. And now we've made it to... Oh, hello, we're in a building. Oh, hello. Well, that's nice. Nice building. It's like the TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside. Beautiful loco. This is what I like about Train Sim World, when you just look at the scale of them. Like, Jesus Christ, like they're massive, big locomotives. Sense of scale is very impressive, especially when you're down at, like, you know, well, her level, you know, in terms of her eyesight, you know, her height. You know, it just makes you think, wow, it's that close to reality. Come on. Thank you. Right, let's get back in the lovely confines of the cab. Right, our next stop is Menlo Park. Wow, this Baby Bullet service does stop on quite a few. Take my time on the throttle. Right, now we're up to speed. I'll have a look at the chat. And yeah, I mean, the fact we've got third-party development, and thinking of third-party development, hopefully, well, there won't be many bugs, that's for sure. Surely. I mean, Rivet Games have a very particularly clean record when it comes to developing and producing content. That the things they produce is usually bug-free. I mean, okay, there are going to be a bug or two, but nowhere near probably as many or catastrophic as what Dovetail do. They're the king of making bugs, they are. Yeah, it'd be interesting to drive the shunter, because obviously it's got that throttle wheel like the 155, so that's going to be very challenging indeed. That's why I wanted a 294 really, so it'd be easier to drive. Because I'm absolutely terrible with the 155. It's a great challenge, but it takes quite a lot of practice. Yeah, it could be a new country, it could be anything, couldn't it? It could be France, it could be, I don't know, maybe one in South America or Africa or Asia, maybe in Japan, but or I don't know. It might be a Canadian add-on for that Canadian route. It's not my favourite, the Oakville subdivision route. It just, to me, it just doesn't feel right. I don't know why. It just feels like it's incomplete. You know, when it was released, it got a lot of criticism, like the feature of using the tanks, you know, loading and unloading the tanks. That was basically broken. As a Baby Bullet went by. The fact you couldn't use passenger services, albeit it was never intended to have passenger traffic integrated into the line. I think that was a mistake. Because the moment the route was announced, everyone was like, oh, we want the passenger services, and I bet Dovetail wasn't even thinking about putting passenger services in the route at launch or in the future. I bet that'll scuff their plans up, and I don't think passenger services will be possible on that route. It's simply not long enough. I mean, what, 4 stations going back and forth? Nah, it's not going to happen. It's a waste of time, isn't it? Because then you've got to figure out, oh, where the locomotive's going to go, you know, is there a shed for them, you know, what scenario is he going to do out of that, you know, basically going up and down the line for like 20 minutes, you know, stopping at what, 3 or 4 stations. It's probably great at first, it's not very exciting after, is it? Alright, we've got to stop at Menlo Park. What time are we due to stop there? 7:16. Oh, we've caught up, lovely. At the time, we made up very good ground. Oh, it's going to be interesting. Are we going to stop on the marks? It's taking its time again. I've done full service, yeah. Come on, buddy. Need to get down the speed. Oh. I want to get a bit closer. Come on. Let me get closer. Let me get closer. There's 2 people here that need to get on. I need to be close to them. There we go. That'll do. Here we are. We're at Menlo Park. For once, train sim well replicates real life. There's not much going on. All aboard. We're at Menlo Park, ladies and gents. I'll have a look at the chat. Yeah, I don't drive the 4155 very often. It's the fact that it's different just makes me turn away from it, because it's so different, and you know, sometimes you're just like, you know, you just don't want to drive it because it's so, you know, difficult. Particularly with the uphill gradients and the downhill gradients and the, you know, the types of wagons you're pulling, X, Y, and Z. So, but either way, I cannot wait for it. It's going to be unbelievable. You know, it's a locomotive that's been heavily requested across the community, regardless if you are not a fan of German routes or what. But it's finally on the way, so that's good. The scenarios will be interesting. I just hope, like I said earlier on, that they integrate it into Reverse Ignored, which is probably why they haven't announced the release date yet. You never know, they might be doing it right now as we speak, maybe. Not at this time, but you know what I mean. Like this week, or maybe last week. Latter stages of it when it was announced. Right, we've got to get going. What's our next stop? Palo Alto, 719. This baby bullet service is very stopping-starting, isn't it? You think when you have a baby bullet service, you think you just charge all the way from San Francisco to San Jose and not stop at any. Other than the key stations, you know, like the ones, like the one big terminal within the middle of the route. What was it? I forget what it was called. But not the little stations in between. I didn't expect to stop at so many. So... Yeah, that's what I said earlier on, Danny, absolutely right. It's a waste of time. I don't know why people bother demanding it. If you want passenger services on the Toronto section, then you might as well just get a new route for it. You haven't got a prayer of it. I think a DLC add-on for the Canadian National route has got to be the 4400 CW that they have on CSX Heavy Haul, or maybe a shunter very similar to the one that's on Peninsula Corridor. I think a shunter around there would be really, really good. Because apparently on Dovetail actually admitted they made a mistake with that route, because the sidings in the industrial complexes of Hamilton, obviously some of them you couldn't access at all, even though they were on the map as you could access them, but in game you couldn't access them, and that annoyed a lot of people, particularly with that service scenario where you could, you know, trundle all around that yard, do what you want, but in reality you couldn't, because it just wouldn't let you go to some various parts in the industrial complex, or some specific sidings with some trucks in it. You couldn't reach them. So I think a shunter is very well needed there, and why it wasn't there in the first place is quite extraordinary. It surprised me, that's for sure, especially in that industrial heavy, you know, particularly for unloading the tanks. I think that'll be a little shunter could be quite useful, I think. But hey, what do I know? Well, mate, door's about to close. Why, are you about to go, are you? Bye bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye bye, loser. We're going. Oh, I think, speaking of the two carriages, so I need to do that other service, that special train service. We have the two F40s at the front. I've got to do that. It's quite annoying because you have to, the actual service, you have to do it in the cab car going up to San Francisco, and then you take control of the two cats. I think you pull it empty back to San Jose, which doesn't make sense. I would have thought they would have done the actual service from San Francisco with two F40s at the front. I think that would have been fantastic. You know, pull them empty, you know, no passenger, you know, the actual service, forget about the actual service, just pull it up to San Francisco, and then begin the actual special train service from San Francisco. The train is to celebrate Nelson Mandela, I No, is it Nelson Mandela? No, we're not Nelson Mandela. An idiot, he's not from the States. Martin Luther King, I think. I think it's on the anniversary of his death, I think. Or his birthday or something, Martin Luther King, I don't know. I'm not very accurate on United States history. You can tell I didn't do very well at history at school. What's our next stop? Mountain View 727. We can do that. Get there on time, hopefully. Bring what, Danny? You say bring it on NEC New York with a CSX livery. What do you mean? Do you mean the 4400 CW I was talking about earlier on? Because the chat's a bit delayed on my phone, so I get a bit confused. I believe that's what you talked about, the 4400 CW. What? Yeah, you were. Oh, good. Okay, that's cool. Me confused. Not anymore. Anyway, I was going to ask you, what was the other thing you put? What modern UK route would you prefer? Great Western Express, East Coast Way, or West Somerset Way? It wouldn't be West Somerset Railway. I've given up with that. I'm quite bored of it, really. It's just basically a museum on wheels. That's all it is. You know, at a pathetic speed of 25 miles an hour. You know, like when the 52 came out, it should have been on Great Western Express, because historically the 52 was storming up the Great Western main line to London, Paddington, and to other parts like Wales and the southwest of England. And you know what, it wouldn't surprise me if they have that 52 as part of a rail tour service to Great Western Express, because now they've got a rail tour service on East Coastway, they should put it on Great Western Express. But of course, to get access to these rail tour services, you've got to buy a lot of stuff. The 52, you know, the Northern Transpennine stuff, the 31, the Tees Valley DLC. You know, you need Transpennine because of the coaches, and you know, a lot of things just for one rail tour service. And if you added to Great Western Express with the 52, I think that would be fantastic. But Great Western Express, I love the high speed with the 43. I love it, but it's no longer my favourite because it just hasn't been touched. It's gathering dust. It's always the same, and there's no feeling of excitement anymore with it. You know, because it's, you know, the same. So it's got to be East Coast Way for me, I'm afraid, because it's newer. There's more variety in the services, certainly. With the 66 in Great Western Express, all you do is go up and down the line. You can't unload the wagons at that Hayes tarmac facilities. I know you can do a scenario of it, but it's not replicated in service mode. But in East Coast Way on the service mode, obviously, as you've seen on my channel, what was in December, you know, you could see the 66 unloading the wagons, taking them up the line to Lewis, taking them back down to Lewis, you know, and you could do that. But with the 66 on Great Western Express you can't, which is a bit puzzling, really. Hopefully they'll do that in the future. I think they just need to do a complete revamp of Great Western Express, you know, not from the service mode point of view, but you know, it just needs a bit of a refresh, really. It needs tidying up. And I think the worst thing of all that's holding this game back is what we most see: the sky. The sky is appalling. It's so far behind. The graphics for the clouds, you know, when it's sunny, cloudy, or just cloudy in general, is, well, pathetic. It's like something you'd see on the PS2, let alone a bloody PS3 or something. So we've got to get the sky system. I heard like months ago Dimitri posted a picture on his Twitter account saying, oh, there's a new sky, it's all going to plan. I thought, great, we're getting a new sky. Maybe we'll get it with the winter update or Train Sim World 2020, but I haven't been anything about that. So I think graphically the worst thing that's holding it back now is the sky itself. They've got the trees and everything absolutely spot on. They really got to grips with that. The trees look really good. Like, say from Rustic Nord to now, the difference is unbelievable. It just looks more real, I suppose. Like where they put them, and you know, the shadows of the trees. You know, they don't look as flat. I think that's the perfect way to describe it. Plus also, you know, Great Western Express and Rapid Transit and North East Corridor, they need a bit of a tidy up as well. They're looking, well, they're the ugly ducklings of Train Sim World, sadly, from a route perspective. The locomotives, of course, look great, but the route itself needs a tidy up. I mean, look, this just looks more polished, more complete, and at the moment, Transpennine and Peninsula Corridor are my favourite routes because they just are so complete. Not just because they've got extra loco DLCs, but it just looks more complete, and they've ironed up more of the bugs. And Main Spurs of Barnes are now going to be added to that list because obviously the shunters. So there we go. Matt Seaman put vintage rail tools, groceries, MK1s and locos. Hopefully we'll do. I hope we get 101 on the West Summer. So yeah, the West Summer, yeah, the 101s. The 101s is interesting, isn't it? People like it because of the challenge, you know, using the manual gearbox, and the braking system is different. You know, that valve pressuring system. You got to learn how that works. Yep. All right. I didn't want to stall the engine again. It's up and running. Yep. But of course, some people don't like it because they prefer a certain rival to it, let's say, and of course that's the Pacer. And when 31 was announced for Tees Valley, I thought at the time that the Pacer was going to come with it, but nope. And you hear Matt Pedalston saying, "Oh yeah, I love a Pacer to be on the game. I love it." It's like false hope. He's almost pleading to his own employees, like, "Come on, guys, let's make it." And then they're just like, look at him like, "Are you mad? We're not going to make the Pacer." And he's like, "Huh, okay." Oh, you know, it's just like that, isn't it? Yeah, but I think the 101s would be quite nice on West Somerset. That'd be really nice. It'd be a very good challenge, wouldn't it, with those heavy uphill gradients, that's for sure. What gear has to be in? Oh, I'll take that. And when steam trains eventually come to the game, if they ever come to the game, I don't think they will, because they can't get the balance right of, you know, new players to understand how it works, and players who know how to drive a steam engine from the back of their hand, and that's the problem. But if there was to be a steam train, I think it would be on West Somerset Railway. And then West Somerset Railway would become everyone's favourite route. And what steam engine they'd use? I think they would use a tank engine, a Great Western Railway tank engine, either a pannier tank or maybe a little Hunslet engine. I think that would be a fantastic start. But obviously, personally, from my point of view, the steam engines I like to see is like, you know, the big boy, you know, the most famous locomotive in the world, no doubt, the Flying Scotsman, because that's out and about now. Well, not right now, but, you know, has been restored and is running around the rails of Great Britain. I'd like to see the Black 5. I love the Black 5. The Black 5 is one of my favourites. It just has that presence of performance. It's like the underdog, the Black 5, because you don't expect it to be that good, like speed-wise and everything. Because obviously when you think of fast steam engines, you think of the Union Pacific A4 class or the Flying Scotsman, but the Black 5 is like the, you know, it's like the one in the shadows, you know, it's the underdog. And that's what I like about the Black 5. But yeah, if we got a steam engine, I think we just need to have a nice have a little engine to start with, you know, and make everyone happy. You know, we've got steam engines in the game, so that's good for the hardcore fans, and you know, we've got a little engine as well so people can understand how it works, because there's no point using it on big, heavy, long express trains, because, you know, I'm sure people will get confused about the differences of operating it, you know, on certain routes, different gradients, you know, what it is pulling or pushing, you don't know. So I think a little Hunsler engine or a pannier tank will be good. And thinking of British vintage stuff, I think the biggest clue of all as to what, you know, steam we're going to get, you know, be it, you know, either a steam loco add-on or maybe another route that focuses specifically on steam engines. I think you have to go back to the very beginning, because I remember before Train Sim World came out on consoles, they did a little trailer, you know, explaining to them personally what it was like to, you know, get up close to the locomotives and, you know, how to replicate them in the game. If you watch that video on YouTube, there's one of the guys, I forget his name was, but he was at, I forget which preserve where it was, but he was on board a pannier tank, and it just made me think, surely they wouldn't just film him, you know, working at that railway on the pannier tank just for the sake of publicity, surely. You know, surely they're not like EA Sports who are just greedy for sales and money. You know, it just makes me think, surely they've gone out there and reviewed and captured the sounds and aesthetics of the steam engines there. Yeah, oh, Gresley, yeah, Nigel Gresley. Oh yeah, Stevenson's Rocket, I remember that, yeah. Stevenson's Rocket would be easy, wouldn't it? Because all it has, it's got a working boiler. What else has it got? Hasn't got a roof. I think it also has a modern safety valve, I think, so that'll be great. Imagine having the Stevenson's Rocket on West Somerset. That'll be good fun. I'm just thinking about that trailer. I've got to get it up. I'm not going to go up the trailer, but I'm going to look up the area in which they that railway they want to. It was a preserved railway, but I forget where it was. It wasn't West Somerset, it was another one. I know it was. I just got to find the bloody thing. I think I went to, was it Apple Maps? If I go on my Apple Maps, I might be able to have a look. I'm sure if I look at my history of it. Recent searches, here we go. No, I don't know if I could find it right now. I've got to keep an eye on that. Express, what time are we doing? 7:42. I'll be alright. We should be just cruise at that speed. We'll be alright. We're at 65 anyway, so that's alright. As long as we're not too late and we've got a problem. Let me have a look. As long as the stream doesn't bugger up. It shouldn't bugger up at close to 2 o'clock in the morning. Such an idiot. Oh well, get it up. Yeah, they're greedy. Especially for their licenses, so you should have enough money to pay for licenses. I've just got to find that Train Sim World Train Sim World trailer. Okay, let me find it. Launch trailer, nope. Oh, I know where it is, come on. Don't tell me they deleted it. I will rage if they have. That will annoy me. Alright, let's just see if we can get to it. We've got to go back a long time. I'll go back nearly 2 years. Out now. Nope. Ah, here we go. By rail fans, for rail fans. Now let me find it. It was a certain station. This guy was that. What was his name? Adam Rose, the audio artist. Yeah, he was at the Preserve Railway. Where was he? What railway is that, my friend? He was at the pannier tank. Yeah. Just watching it back now. He's at a pannier. He is on the pannier tank. British Railways one, not a Great Western Railway one. Come on. Ah! That's the route station. I could just see it there, pulling out. Trend. I've got to look that up. I can't remember how it's spelled. Oh, I've got a 40-mile-an-hour limit coming up. That's alright. I've got to be quick. Trent, yeah, I've spelled that. It's hard to see because it's quite a long way away. D, let's try Trendon. Tenterden Town, I think it's Tenterden Town. Tenterden Town, how you say it? Tenterden Town, I don't know how you say it. Tenterden Town Station, let's have a look. Ah, yes, that's where he was. He was at the Kent and East Sussex Railway. Yes, that's where it is. That was where he was. It was on that Preserve Railway. On the Kent and East Sussex Railway. Let's have a look at that. Oh, we're approaching San Jose Diridon. That was quick, wasn't it? Let's have a look. Kent and East Sussex Railway. So it starts at Headcorn Junction. And there's the stations are Tenterden Town, Rolvenden, Wittersham Road, Northeim, Dixter Halt, Bordham or Bordame, I don't know, Junction Road Halt, Salehurst Halt, and Roberts Bridge Junction and Roberts Bridge. So that is the the Kent and East Sussex Railway. That's where that was filmed at, with that pannier tank in that trailer. So hey, you never know, we might be getting that Preserve Railway. Oh, it's the 15DC, my friend. He's getting what's he waiting for? Is he taking in a baby bullet service, is he? Oh, fair enough. Let's get up to speed a bit, because we're near the end of the journey. Maybe couldn't you just imagine if that was an actual route that was coming, you know, all this time, you know, we've been wondering, oh, when are we going to get Steam? Imagine if it was coming because, you know, because of that footage there. Imagine if that was the route where Steam would be introduced. I was like, well, if you watch that trailer, you would have, you know, you would have had there's a big clue about it, you know. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's if they can be able to get it at the moment. Who knows, this lockdown and social distancing can go on forever. I mean, apparently, according to the Independent newspaper, apparently if everyone obeys everyone stays at home and obeys the rules, apparently we might lift restrictions in May. Personally, I can't see that happening, but you know, I have to live in hope. It's a bit of a worry that Mr. Boris is in trouble. He's in hospital now. And I'm just like thinking, God, if Boris Johnson passes away with this virus, that's just going to make things even worse. Because then we have no leader, and we can't have a general election, because obviously we're not allowed to go out. And there's no point having an online general election, because hackers will just spaz it all up. If there was to be a general election, either after the no, it won't be a general election, will it? It'll have to just be a new Conservative leader, that would be all. It won't be a general election, that'd be silly. here we are approaching San Jose Diridon, pretty much on time, so I consider that to be an achievement as a baby bullet service. Oh yeah, maybe that Vashanta was pulling in a failed train. That probably was that's probably why it was there. Well, it's a little bit early, isn't it? 7:42 in the morning. But here we are. Oh, that's gone quick, isn't it? It's been riddled with some errors at the start of the stream. I overtalked the engine and stalled it and couldn't figure out a way to switch it back on again. Even though I could hear it still operating the engine, I couldn't get it to move. Then when I started the second time round, I accidentally pressed the emergency button, and I thought the stream was finished, and I thought, oh, you know, sugar, I've bottled it up. But no, we've carried on, and we've actually stayed reasonably close to the time. So that's the first baby bullet service complete. Now that's something you don't see every day. 2:36 is all. We should have our lights on. Clearly, we need our cruising light on. Clearly, I forgot. Nice. Nice. Look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, true. I mean, I watched the news report, and there was these like shed loads of people. I think it was some park in East or West London, just sunbathing. I'm like, is this a bloody joke? You know what I mean? It's like they don't want it to end. Some people, it's like they don't want this bloody pandemic or lockdown to end. It's unbelievable. Some people, it's ridiculous. Oh, we got a gold medal. That took 1 hour and 9 minutes. That's why we stopped at 22nd Street, Millbury, Redwood City, Menlo Park, Palo Alto, Mountain View, and San Jose Diridon. 7 stations, still more than I expected. Maybe 1 or 2. I expected to stop at just Millbury mainly, but there we are. Well, we made it. Come on, game. Don't die. Thank you. I think we'll leave it there because it's quite late. Whoa, don't go up there, bloody hell. Wrong side. Wrong side. You silly boy. Let's close the door. There we go. Well, that concludes the stream on the Baby Bullet, actually doing an actual Baby Bullet service, the MP36PH-3C. Yes, Daniel, if I don't take things seriously enough, it annoys you so much. It annoys me so much, it's just pathetic. Absolutely. It's a disgrace, really. So there we go. But that concludes the stream. I doubt I'll be doing a stream for a while. Because, you know, the internet, you know, is getting overstressed. Getting stressy because of you know, people working at home, so that's the way it is, that's the way it goes, and that's how it's going to be for a while. So if I do streams, it'll probably be very, very late at night. If not, then oh, please, a light here, exit the vehicle. Right, well, where's it going? I didn't order it to go anywhere. Oh dear, that doesn't sound healthy. But yeah, in terms of Train Sim World content, you're probably seeing more videos of me doing the Hopstrecker Rhine route. So there won't be a stream for a little while, I don't think. But hope you all enjoyed it. Of course, you'll be able to watch it back on the channel as always. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So just like to say thank you very much, and we will see you next time. Thank you.